punish me?" Violet asked nervously, trying to sound brave. "Of course, my purple queen," Asher replied smoothly, his voice as smooth as silk, but with an edge of steel. He reached out and ran his hand through her hair, a gesture so tender it felt almost cruel. The contrast between his soft touch and the darkness in his voice sent chills down her spine. "You tried to run away from me, Violet. What kind of queen runs from her king?" "A king?" she hissed, her golden eyes flashing. "And I've told you 1,000,000 times, I'm not your queen! Stop calling me that!" For a brief moment, something flickered in Asher's eyes, an emotion she couldn't quite place. But then he yanked her hair suddenly and sharply, making her gasp in pain. She thought. Asher leaned in close, his breath warm against her ear. "I told you, little purple. You're mine." Violet's heart hammered in her chest, but she refused to back down. "I'm not yours," she spat. "I'm not some possession. I'm a person. And if I were to belong to anyone, you'd be the last person I'd choose, you." Her words were brave, but Violet knew provoking him was risky. Still, she couldn't stop herself. Instead of getting angry, Asher laughed. It was a low, wicked sound that made her skin crawl. "This isn't attraction," she told herself. "It's just my body reacting to him being so close." Asher smirked, clearly noticing her reaction. "Don't worry, little queen," he said, his voice a teasing purr. "We'll see how long you hold on to those tough words after I'm done with you." Violet's defiance wavered, replaced by a sudden fear. "What are you going to do to me?" she whispered. His grin deepened, dark and full of unspoken promises. "Something you're not going to hate." Violet swallowed, wondering what he meant by that. Before she could ask, Asher stepped back, sitting down casually at the foot of her bed, like he owned the place. He looked relaxed, but his eyes burned with intensity. "Take off your clothes," he commanded suddenly, his voice dripping with authority. Violet's eyes widened in shock. She opened her mouth to protest, but she felt the force of his power wash over her. Her body moved against her will, her fingers already reaching for the satchel on her back. "No," she thought. "I don't want this." But her hands wouldn't listen. The satchel fell to the floor, followed by her dark jacket. Panic and humiliation surged through her as she reached for the waistband of her black pants. She had no control. "Leave the rest on," Asher commanded, his voice breaking the spell. Freed from his control, Violet stumbled back, clutching her shirt like a shield. Relief washed over her, but it was fleeting. She could feel Asher's eyes on her, his gray eyes like a predator's, devouring her. She took short, shallow breaths, her whole body tense. She glared at him, but the jerk just grinned wider, clearly enjoying her discomfort. So Violet decided to change his game. She slammed her eyes shut. Asher's powers only worked when he could see his victim's eyes. If he wanted to control her again, he'd have to make her open them. Violet was betting his supposed affection for her would stop him from doing anything too harsh. "What are you doing?" he asked, surprised. Violet didn't move a muscle. "What do you think I'm doing? Might as well be blind if I have to keep my eyes open for you," she snapped. "And why would I do that, my purple queen?" Asher's voice was suddenly right next to her ear. So close, she felt his breath on her skin. Violet gasped. She hadn't even heard him move. How did he get behind her so fast? "He's a werewolf, dummy," she reminded herself. Werewolves were fast, sneaky, and natural hunters. Still, no matter how curious she was to see what he was up to, she kept her eyes shut tight. You think I'm going to hurt my queen? His tone was laced with disbelief, but there was a dangerous edge to it that made her stomach churn. It sent a jolt through her, a thrill she didn't want to feel. Her body betrayed her. Oh God, I'm in so much trouble. Violet had figured her defiance would make Asher back off. She thought his pride, or his weird reluctance to hurt her, would end this. But she hadn't counted on how sneaky he was. Asher Nightshade didn't play fair, and she was finally seeing how dangerous that made him. His fingers traced lightly across her stomach, the brief contact making her catch her breath. Just as quickly, it was gone, leaving her even more on edge. What are you doing? Violet asked, her voice shaking even though she tried to sound tough. Her heart pounded in her ears. She couldn't predict him, couldn't guess what he'd do next. He was like a ghost, moving so silently that it freaked her out. Why don't you open your eyes and find out, my purple queen? He taunted, his smooth voice now coming from her left. The urge to open her eyes was almost unbearable. It was like a little voice whispering in her ear, tempting her to peek. But Violet wasn't stupid. This was exactly what he wanted. Asher was playing with her, pushing her buttons, trying everything he could to make her give in. But she wasn't about to let him win that easily.
See that button on screen? That's your full story. Tap it and download the Pocket FM app now for free.